Hi everyone. Happy Friday. I love coming on and painting on Fridays. It's becoming one of my favorite things that I do. So it's great to see you all. I hope you're having a great Friday. Today I put in the comments or the notes that grace and ease are just two life goals, life states that I want to be in more. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in all the things you worry about every day. You forget, but when you do remember to start from that state, it can be so amazing because it just changes how you approach everything, the frustration or the challenges in life. So I'm going to make something to help remind myself that that's the state that I would like to approach challenging situations or even just happy situations or things, time with your family, or all the times you need grace and ease. So I'm going to start with these fun, they're like wax pencil things. They're very cool. And what I'm hoping, never used them before, so you guys are going to watch me try something totally new. I'm hoping is that they kind of like push away the paint, or the paint doesn't quite paint on them. So I think it'd be fun to try it out and see how it works today. So with the thought of grace and ease, I kind of picture dancers, people that are very graceful, that carry a lot of that. I don't know if anyone's a Beyonce fan. I kind of feel like she handles everything with grace and ease. So I'm going to start with this feeling of how dancers, just like the motion that they have, the way that they pull you around and bring up this beautiful motion, this ease that they have that's like draws your eye. It's got this flow, energy to it. Kind of like how this is a little bit scratchy. Almost kind of feels like when you're a kid drawing with crayons and stuff. Always very fun. I also kind of feel like, as always with my nods to nature, always feel like nature has a lot of grace and ease that we don't necessarily pay as much attention to, or I don't know, maybe we do. I suppose that's the whole like appreciating flowers in nature, all that. But just trying to, instead of, you can choose how you want to approach a situation. It really is kind of your choice to make. Would you rather approach it full of tension, stress, expecting the worst, versus calm and ease, that everyone's kind of in the same boat? Everyone knows what it's like to have a rough day. Everyone also is kind of just trying to get through, approaching people with that grace of like they're probably dealing with stressful things too, because aren't we all? Like that ease, that grace, that understanding coming from that state. So I don't know. Oh, you can't really see the yellow. There's some yellow in there too. There's a few layers. I wonder if I bring it a little closer, you can see it. That'd be cool. I hope this doesn't make anyone dizzy. There's some different layers in there, some textures. You can get it really close and you can see the cool scratchiness I was mentioning that feels a little bit like crayon. I can show you this one before I get covered in paint. Oh, and it's fall. You can start to see the fall sunshine coming through. It's cool. The different shifting seasons. It's always also something to handle with grace and ease. I'm going to bring in a lot of warmth with grace and ease, and then I'm also going to be bringing in some contrasting colors to these reds and oranges, some blues, some purples, to give it an interesting depth, the way contrasts vibrate. As always, lots of white, because I love white. I think it just ease, lightness, color-wise and also physically. White just brings out these. It's like airiness. There's kind of this elevation to it. And I like that some of the white in here, I don't know if you can, yeah, you probably can't see it, but the drawing underneath kind of shows through a little bit too, which is fun. Add a little bit of looseness to the white. It's getting a little thick. Oh, maybe it's drippy, because it always does. But as you've watched before, I tend to kind of rein that drippiness in. Just adding some like loose white to canvas. Places then also where color can blend in. Bring in that warmth. Upward movement of grace. When things come with ease, they tend to be kind of light. There's not that heavy. Although it usually does kind of have a strong foundation. You're not floating off into nothingness with grace and ease. You're definitely still solid on the ground. I do keep picturing ballet dancers. They probably are the epitome of grace and ease, right? Bring in some warm colors, or sorry, some cool colors, some blues and purples to kind of complement these reds and oranges, these golds. It's going to kind of pull you upwards. These big pieces of movement. Just trying to bring the gold in with the blue because it's almost kind of like blue and yellow, but not quite so like in your face. Just doing straight up contrasting colors next to each other. It's got a little bit more warmth to it. You don't go straight to green. And then bringing in a little bit of some like, I don't know, metallic charcoal. It gives it a little bit of depth, I think. Grace, like I said, does have a fairly solid foundation. I think bringing in a little bit of deeper colors can kind of pull that up and out. It's hard to be graceful on mushy base. So bringing in some of that deep. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Just loving all this beautiful weather in Chicago. Unfortunately, all our friends who are on the East Coast are probably not loving it at the moment. But here in Chicago, it's gorgeous. I'm appreciating it while we have it because anyone that knows this region's weather, it's not cool and dry very much. Adding this upward, this motion, these. And I think ease tends to be a little bit more fluid, but there is definitely a lot of motion in there. I'll probably bring the big brush back in and soften it a little bit. Ease definitely, it's not chaotic. There's smooth flow to it. some softness. I think Ease and Grace definitely are both soft. I think approaching something with ease is definitely not necessarily delicate in like a you're gonna break it kind of way, but it's delicate as in like with understanding, appreciation. Kind of getting a little gray muddy in there from that charcoal, so bringing in a little bit more white to kind of brighten it up a little. As always, adding edges. I always tend to miss this corner down here. Bring that in while I remember. Because I feel like its edges are not really an afterthought. I think that they're part of the piece as you're creating the layers, because then whether you actually put paint on every layer or not, it adds an interesting kind of almost like story of how the piece was created. That's really cool. Bringing up and out. I'm also I started here and kind of moved up, so I don't want to lose too much of that, so maybe bring in a little bit of that again. I don't want it to turn into like blob central. Bringing in a little bit more of that gold. Kind of moved us up, out. Grace, fluid motion. Kind of almost, that also kind of reminds me of like a beautiful bird. One that could move, maybe if a hawk and a peacock could mix. It's my world, I'll make whatever I want, right? Soften that up a little bit. Bring some blue over into here. Taking a look at how things are kind of flowing through the piece too. With Grace and Ease, there definitely is a lot of intentional flow where you're coming from, what you're choosing to bring with you, how you're choosing to approach something. Kind of getting this into the canvas and softening it up a little bit. I think I'm gonna bring in some of that medium that loosens things a little bit. I always kind of like not taking my brush work too seriously, right? There's such a thing as perfection, right? I actually kind of like loosening it up and getting it to play. It's a good time. It's Friday, right? Sometimes I like doing this when it's flat, which is hard to show on Facebook Live, but that can kind of help me. Like I could actually like pick the canvas up and move it around and stuff, and it can flow in different ways, and then I'm not fighting drips, which I'm not always a huge fan of. But I do like when it starts to kind of like mix together a little bit more. Get these edges, some color on the printer. I tend to paint a little aggressively, and sometimes my canvas jumps around on me. You guys have seen that. I even knocked my whole easel over once. Go big, go hard. Why not? It's gotta flow with it, right? Bringing in some colors, corners, kind of. This guy, okay. Now I'm looking at what's going on with the drips, seeing if I still like all that. Cool, kind of, I don't know if you can see that, it like dripped and then I kind of moved through it, and so it kind of like left that cut out. Kind of fun. Oh, and then that's neat, it kind of pulls some of that drawing back out, which I'm going to bring back in a little bit more too. That's fun, it almost like helps me find things again. I don't know how many of you are also artists or creators, and do you find that like you start down something and you're like, oh, I'll just give this a try, and then it's like, oh, that's interesting, it kind of pulls out or reveals a bunch of stuff you weren't expecting, but it ends up making it so much cooler. It's like it was there, you just had to find it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so then my favorite things to do are cut back into the piece. I like cutting into wet paint. Grace and ease. Ease flowing. Like pulling paint to other parts. And probably can't see it now. You can't. That's okay. This is a pink, one of those crayon, wax crayon things. It's actually leaving a little bit of pink into the canvas where I'm cutting. And fun, it leaves the crayon all nice and painty. You know, you're not getting dirty. It's not as fun, right? Bring in and smooth up some of these guys. Kind of smooth that face a little bit. Set a touch more dark. I don't know if you can hear Painting Buddy Willie down there. He's hanging out. He loves painting Friday. So he gets to just come lay, hang out. Oh, Willie. Hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. It's definitely my favorite time coming out here, hanging out, showing people what I'm thinking about or working on that week, this week, every week. I don't know if everyone that watches this knows that I'm working on building my business, so having a reminder of grace and ease is definitely the way I want to be approaching opportunities, how I'm meeting people, building relationships with clients. I definitely want to be approaching the challenges of the job, the business, being of service to people with grace and ease. I'm not sure if you can even really be of service to people if you don't have some of that. If you're coming from an agitated state, like, what good are you doing? Seeing it's getting a little kind of like mushy in here again. It's like bringing in a little bit of depth. It's actually kind of fun. I can see it on the video. So seeing it in reverse. I don't know if you've ever tried to make something where then you look at it backwards or upside down or whatever to kind of catch like where the where something needs attention or imbalance. Or in design we used to do it to try to find where there was weird gaps in layouts and things like that. Right there. It's fun. Cool. Okay. I think that's about it for me today. I'm going to add a little bit more line work here while I chat for a second. But happy Friday. Thanks for watching. It's good to see you. Appreciate everyone who joins, and I hope it maybe added some relaxation, or maybe triggered a thought for how you would like to, the type of state you would like to be in when you're approaching challenging situations. Would you rather be maybe open, strong, confident, things like that? I mean, all of those are obviously awesome, but grace and ease are definitely two. Hi, Rick. Two things that I aspire to continue to bring into the work that I do, the people that I meet, clients, or just, people at the grocery store. I mean, having that sort of approach to life, to interactions is life goals. So I'm going to have this to help remind me. And if you need some more grace and ease in your life, I hope this helps. And you're always welcome to reach out to me if you'd like to actually have this in your home to remind you of grace and ease. Reach out, message me. Have a good afternoon. Happy Friday. Thanks. Bye.